begin the meeting of the Old Saybrook Planning Commission, a special meeting agenda, October 15th. Nick is here, Doug is here, Walt Kay is here, Kathleen Suglin is here for the last time, and Michael Bender is here. With that, I'll call the meeting to order. And let's move on to minutes. If I can get a motion to approve the minutes.
May I have a comment?
Yeah, after we approve, after we get the motion first.
Oh, okay. I'll make the motion.
Thank you. Can you get a second? I'll second. Thank you. So now your comment.
All right, well, just on the second, I think the second page, TIF is usually mentioned as TIF, not TIFF. And see, I after by my minutes.
That's okay, you just want to correct it. That one.
Yeah.
Okay, should correct it. It's not obviously very, okay, that's otherwise perfect.
All right.
Good job, Karen.
Yes. Very good job.
Thank you for your additional.
All those in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Any abstains?
Abstain was not here.
Two. And with that, we'll take a look at the 2026 Planning Commission Housing Task Force schedule of meeting date. 2026. Okay. Can I get a motion to approve the planning
So
calendar?
move.
Thank you. Second. Is that a second?
Yes.
I thought so. Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstains? Very good. With that, we're gonna move on to new business. The Bagnetti request for waiver of section 130B.5 of the regulations for public improvement to allow the required 75-foot for horizontal radius to be waived to allow for a 50-foot radius. And Mr. Bagnetti is in the room. You want to give us a quick overview of what's
Yeah, so, basically, I'm just trying to get a drive up to my house, doing a 75-foot radius just doesn't. It goes from the road, it goes up pretty high, so it was already hard enough with the elevation to work out. And to get a 150-foot wide corner just is a bit tough. And the engineer that I talked to basically said, like, the town does a 50-foot radius or 100-foot overall corner for cul-de-sacs, so maybe you guys would pass it as a okay thing, because you know, fire trucks and things like that can get around that size corner. And that I can actually get in there without, you know, absorbing a massive amount of cost to myself to be able to do the driveway. So yeah, I was just hoping you guys would approve it for me.
okay. We do have a letter from the town engineer saying that he is okay with this, with a couple of conditions. That letter. We have heard from Department of Public Works and they are okay. We have heard from the acting chief of police and he is okay. The fire department is okay. And yes, so town engineer, he's reviewed the request for the waiver to allow for a 50-foot horizontal driveway center line radius in lieu of the required 75. He has no objections from an engineering standpoint. But recommended condition approval noted below be included in regard to the following, that section 70H in the old Saybrook regulation for public improvements, which pertains to the radius of circular turnaround at the end of a public road, allows for a 50-foot outside edge. The AASHTO minimum turning path for SU-30 design vehicles, 20-foot wheelbase with an overall length of 30 feet. Requires an inside wheel track turning radius of 28.4 feet with an outside wheel track radius of 41.8. In addition to minimum turning path for an SU-40 design vehicle, 25-foot wheelbase. Overall 40 feet requires minimum inside of 36 feet and outside of 51. These two vehicle types would typically bracket the wheelbase of most larger rural fire equipment. And then in order to accommodate an SU-40 design vehicle as a condition of any waiver approval that may be granted, I would recommend that the width of the driveway be expanded to 15 feet around the radius instead of the standard 10 foot. And I believe we have the drawings from Robert Simone that indicates the increase at the corner to 15.
And there's a requirement for a driveway bond as well.
And there's a requirement for a driveway bond as well. Yes. Any questions?
I have one question. I looked at the, an aerial map on Google. Is there an electrical tower right in the middle of the radius?
Yeah, so there's a easement through the front of the property between the house and the road.
Right.
And so the driveway comes up on the front side of the easement and then loops around the poles and then underneath the easement and then up towards the house.
So that doesn't create any conflict accessing that tower?
Well, there's already an access road the first part of the driveway is actually an existing access road from Eversource. And so we're trying to use that.
Okay, you're extending that.
Exactly.
Moving it
Just
around
extending it
to
around,
the
yeah.
house.
Yeah, so where the poles are, there's like a flattened out area where they have access. And so I'm just going to loop around that flattened access to get up and around.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm. Any other questions? And I'd like to entertain a motion to approve the request for the waiver of section 130B.5 with just add the conditions. With the conditions that the driveway at the corner be extended to 15 feet, as identified in the revised plan, and that there's a bond for the driveway.
Just to ask the question, the bond is the same bond that I put in originally.
Performance bond.
Yeah, we got it.
Second.
Okay, Kathy
Made
made
the
the
motion.
motion, Paula seconded. Any other questions? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Any abstains? Thank you. Approved.
So thank you guys.
And
Prince,
pardon?
I don't know if you wanted to be.
Yes, if you like your
I
print.
have copies. Yeah, I have a lot of copies.
All right. All right. And then any committee or staff reports?
I think we'll cover a lot of that at the land
Yeah.
use meeting. The one thing I will mention is, I did send you the link, I believe, to the housing task force survey results. And if I did not, it's posted on the housing task force website. So I was gonna give a presentation kind of briefly tonight. However, I think with the other two presentations, I'm just gonna give a quick summary considering this meeting, and I suspect our next meeting is probably gonna go for at least an hour and a half. So to kind of trim down the time, I refer to the presenters tonight. And we can obviously always talk about the survey. Next meeting.
I looked at like the results and it seemed like some of the answers were like duplicated. I don't know by the way the branching questions work. Is there a way to like sort of summarize some of that together or?
We can go through and so, but that was
Yeah.
kind of the raw survey.
Yeah,
results.
that's kind of what I figured out. I was going to
Yeah,
like this. I've already
Because
seen
when
this.
I started reading it, I'm like, well,
Yeah.
why were there only X amount of answers for this?
Yeah,
And then I'm like, well, wait a minute, because those are the people over 55 who answered that question, but the others where it didn't apply, didn't. So, I mean, kind of the quick, results, were 85% of the participants were year round, and this is what I'll go through. Amenities, we all talk about it at the land use meeting, just so I think it's important for both you and zoning to hear it. Just so we're moving forward with, the updates to get John Guskowski involved as the updates for the housing plan.
Yeah.
Your board on Thursday, you can come see me at Foxwoods speaking at the housing conference. You have to register in advance, so I have a quick little panelist blurb.
And sold out.
Not yet, well, I guess it's actually pretty well
It's great.
attended, so the Department of Housing asked that I attend. This was partially, I think, because we just received
Mhm.
about 97,000 or something, $100,000 grant to take a look at Main Street, the current zoning regulations and assess parking, soil conditions and so forth, so. Well, it'll be interesting.
Good.
Speaking event, and the consultants for that, we have a meeting tomorrow afternoon, so we're gonna get off and running. To get that started, and then I'll explain that at the land use
Great.
presentation, so. Use it as an opportunity if you have any comments or questions to. Bring it in, just to remember, this plan, even though like the Thrive plan, it's in this SS4 plan. I mean, they are town plans, even though some of them are done, the SS4 is done by the region, so they're really looking for your input. So the end result will reflect what the town is looking for. Oh, and Doug's in the loop on this. As far as our resiliency planning, I am applying for a grant to Sea Grant for grant funding to apply for the second phase of the Back River project.
Is that Sea Grant or is it?
Yukon Sea Grant is the ones for the grant writing, and then I can get you the details on the other. So Dave Murphy, who worked at Circa at the time when we received the Circa grant to take a look at the Back River. He is now on his own with an independent consulting firm. So he has agreed if we can get the grant writing grant, he will write the grant for the next phases of the Back River. So he and I have been working on that. Hopefully we'll try to get that out in the next week or so.
Okay, yeah, that's a good one because the Back River project, it's about 60% design complete. You know, it goes through phases. It's like, all right, conceptual and get the design partially done. Now we want to finish the design. We want to get it implemented. So this is good. It's another step forward.
Yeah, we've got a lot going on as far as plans and projects right now. But I'm a little concerned because I think funding, especially grant funding, is drying up, so trying to throw our name in the ring as much as possible to apply for these funds. Okay.
And with that, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All those in favor? All those in favor? Any opposed? Any abstains? Thank you.